What's your name and where are you from?
Krista, we're from Sunshine Coast.
Oh, so how is it to being a mom?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a completely different world, but loving every minute with him.
Oh, you're very cute, baby.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow. So, like, first time being mom, do you feel very nervous, or is it change your maybe lifestyle a lot?
Yeah, to an extent. Yeah, I think it's a little bit nerve-wracking when you're coming into it for the first time as a first-time mum. But yeah, I mean, once they're here, it's just incredible, and you just got to, follow your intuition and sort of let it guide the way, and you sort of learn along the way.
What did you learn from having a baby?
Gosh, lots of things. What would be the biggest thing I've learned? Oh gosh, that's a really hard question. I don't know. There's been many things I've learned. There's not one in particular that's sort of jumping out. But I mean, we're learning every day. Every day you learn new things.
So do you think what is the most difficult thing to be a mom?
Honestly, the sleep. The sleep deprivation. Yeah, you live off caffeine. I think the sleep is the trickiest thing. Yeah, because you're doing everything very tired. That would be the toughest one. But yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much.
No worries.
The next generation of telephone led by science to enhance
You have another dummy in your pocket.
You're very welcome.
nasal aspirator. There's a little nose. Yeah, and they sort of get pushed too because they can't just chill out like that, especially if like
Yeah, no.
Candy BBC tickets, join the draw, $200 cash giveaway.
So what's your name and where are you from?
I'm called Linda and I'm from northwest of England.
So how is it to become grandma?
Being a grandma is fabulous.
Yeah,
Absolutely
so
fabulous.
good.
This is Ezra, my grandson.
Oh, he's our grandson. Wow, it's very cute, very cute.
13 months old.
Wow. So do you think maybe what is the most difficult part to have maybe a grandson? Like,
Do you think what's the most difficult?
Yeah.
Sorry? What's
Yeah.
the most difficult? Oh, I think the most difficult will be when I have to leave him because I've been with him since before he was born. And when I go back to England, I will miss him.
oh, wow.
But I'll come back again.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
It doesn't, so if and how often you do it is just when you have, you know, a baby that's really quiet, alert state. So when they're really, that's normally the time where they're more open to it, when they might have just woken up from a sleep, they're having that, you know, bit of a play on the mat, they're quiet, alert, calm. Normally you'll find that you'll probably get through the whole sequence with them a lot more then, as opposed to if they're, you know, ready for a feed. If you do massage them after a feed, probably waiting like 20 minutes to half an hour just for everything to digest. Babies digest milk quite quickly, so normally after 20 minutes to half an hour, if they are in that nice, you know, they're having a bit of a play, they're nice and alert and content, you can definitely incorporate massage then, and normally they'll keep it down as well. So yeah, so that is really, it's really important. Just again, ensure that you always think about safety, incorporate an oil, doing that patch test. Any touch is better than nothing, and it's amazing like that how beneficial massage is. Always try and separate bath time and massage time for a couple of reasons. You don't want to put a lovely oil on your baby and then wash it off. And if you massage your baby after a bath, sometimes it can be a little bit overstimulating, like the bath can be enough for them. They might be ready for a feed, or you know, and we're stimulating our baby sort of too much. So sometimes separating them. So if bath time is part of your evening routine or wind down routine or preparation for bed, you might do, you know, the massage of a morning, but always try and sort of separate them. The other thing is you don't want to put like baby, you know, put all this oil on your baby and then put them in the bath and then they're slippery because they're out of your hands. So it's a safety thing as well. Plus you put all this lovely oil on them and then you're just going to wash it off straight away. So, so yeah, always like try and separate the two as well. But remembering that, yeah, there's so many benefits. You can incorporate it from a newborn. Just modify it and adapt it as babies grow as well. So that is a baby massage. So thank you for your time.
Choking and gagging with the first time of introduction of food. There are some key characteristics that we look for as an organisation. One of those being, when I first introduce a solid, I'm looking for behaviours where I'm seeing tongue movement around the mouth for the first time. I'm also with a child who is able to hold their own body weight up, including their head. Any child who is not able to sit in a very upright position, our recommendation would be, it's not time for food just yet. We always want to make certain that there's time for food to clear the airway prior to introduction. When it comes to gagging versus choking, gagging I usually like to describe, and Remy has done this on more than one occasion, it's the moment where you want to put your fingers in the mouth, but you shouldn't. There's this moment that I find, particularly with the child who is introducing a food for the first time, where they'll start to cough, There's a lot of like tongue movement out of the mouth for the first time, and they're just preparing that gag reflex or the airway to actually be able to swallow for the first time. Now, as a parent, I'm going to say, you will want to put your fingers in the mouth every time you start to see this, and that is called human behaviour. Our recommendation would be that you sit on your hands, particularly for the first couple of seconds, to make sure that you allow them time to actually bring up the food themselves. Otherwise, we're actually delaying the developmental stage of the introduction of food. Now, difference between gagging and choking. Can anyone give me a quick call out? How do I know the difference? Gagging and choking. Say that again. Noise, yeah. So how would you describe choking? No noise, excellent. Yeah, I usually describe choking as either completely silent, yeah. Most cases your child sits there with their mouth open, kind of like a deer in headlights, almost staring at you, which usually to me is an indication that I need to come over and assist. Gagging is usually quite noisy. There's a lot of noise that happens, particularly in the first couple of moments. And that's what I want to see. I want to let my child continue to practice that behaviour whilst they're sitting up here in a really safe space. For me, it also comes down to your choice of high chair or the feeding position that you've got your child in. Whilst it is very easy to sit and feed a child on my lap, it's one of those things that we wouldn't recommend. We would place them in either a high chair or in this case a low chair to make sure that they're in a safe position. Right, let's talk about what happens if I do find my child choking. First thing that you're going to do, take a deep breath before you start doing anything. A friend of mine once said to me, I picked my child up and into the high chair and attempted to do choking whilst they were still in that position because I was so stressed and panicked. I couldn't actually remember how to take the clips off the high chair. That's what stress and panic does to us. So first stage, I'm going to need to unclip my child. Second stage, I'm going to lay them over the top of my forearm. My preference would be that you're seated, but it depends on the moment. I'm demonstrating today from a seated position. My hand would go between the legs of my child, and my hand would actually sit around the jaw of the mouth. So this would be position 1. Position 2, I'd lower them down over the top of my lap, so I've got them in a comfortable position, but also I'm about to start administering what we call back blows. Now, back blows can be quite aggressive if you're seeing this for the first time. So I do want to have them in a position where I've got control of the hand because I'll demonstrate both versions. Version number 1 of back hits, holding the chin, 5 back hits. Verse, if I do not hold the jaw underneath and I administer the same roll, I get a huge amount of movement actually through the neck. So when I sit down here for the first time, I'm going to place my child over the top of my lap, hands, open palm, directly on the back, and I'm going to administer 5 back blows. Excellent. Stage number 2 is what we call a chest thrust, where I rotate the child over onto my lap. I take 2 fingers in the same position that I would administer CPR in, and I push down 5 separate times. This time we're going to do it just a little bit slower so that we have time to check the mouth. So let's do it together. Press number 1 and have a look in the mouth. Can you see anything in there? Press number 2. Mouth check. Press number 3. Check in the mouth. Check number 4 and number 5. Now, if nothing has been dislodged at this stage, the next thing you're going to do is rotate your baby again over the top in your arm, holding onto that jaw, and I'm going to administer a further 5 back hits. I'll see that from everyone now. Give it a go. Awesome. Two check, 3 check, 4 and 5. Excellent. Swap your mannequin over, give it to your partner, let them have a go. I don't want anyone to miss out today. If you have one mannequin between you, you are lucky because you get a second round of practice. If you do not have a mannequin, pop your hand up and I'll get Michael to bring one over to you.